So hello fellow banknote and coin collectors, this is Glenn back with another video, and today we're just going to be talking about the last series of Italian banknotes, and at the end we'll get into their values and whether you can exchange them. So wait until later in the video and you can get that information, or you can just fast forward it and get it right at the end. So these banknotes were withdrawn in 2002 when they issued the euro. And they're actually quite a nice series. So these were not all issued at the start in 1 year. The first banknote was issued in 1984 of this design, and the last one 1997 of design to make a complete set of banknotes for circulation. So really only 5 years these actually circulated as a whole set, and as you can see, the 1 and 2,000 are the same height but different length. The 5, 10 and 50,000 are actually the same height and different length, and I'm going to say the 100 and 500,000 are actually different height and different length. So they're actually quite a nice series, different colorations, but they could have made these colours actually a lot more prominent. So on the 1,000 lira, so this is the smallest denomination at the time, the 500 lira banknote was actually withdrawn in the 80s, and in 1982 actually issued a bimetal coin. So this one has Maria Montessori, and she was a physician and educator known for her dedication to pedagogy, which is a type of education where you we'll learn about how knowledge and skills are imparted to those who are actually trying to teach. So it's trying to improve education so those who have been educated actually get more out of what they're actually being taught. So if you see on this banknote, they're all pretty much the same. They have the numeral up here, the amount in Italian, Banca d'Italia down the bottom, the serial numbers on the left and right. The portrait is always on the right side, and the watermark is always on the left side and has a security thread. And there's two types of banknotes with different types of security features for the higher denominations. And the watermark is always pretty much the same as the portrait that's on there. And then we have the seal. So this is not the seal of the Banca Italia. This is the Venetian coat of arms and flag. So this is the version of the Republic of Venice, and here we have the coat of arms of Italy that used to be. So, but the current coat of arms or emblem is just a star on a cog with a roof around it. So it's more like a communist symbol, but it's not communist. So on the reverse, we always have something associated with the person who is on the front. So as she's an educator, you can see there's two children learning, and this is probably the Montessori school which she founded, and it was dedicated to education in her style, and also has beautiful colorations. I like this 1,000 lira, beautiful banknote. Also it has the decree on it. So this is the ministerial decree, 3rd of October 1990. That's just a legal decree telling when the banknote can be authorised to be printed, not the actual date of printing, because sometimes they just reissued the decree. So does this one have a different one? No, 1990. Anyway, then we have the 2,000 lira. So the 2,000 lira got two. Don't know why I got two. Must have got two different sets. And do they have different signatures? No, the same. So this one has Guglielmo Marconi. So Guglielmo Marconi. I know I butchered his name, but I should actually learn how to pronounce Italian words. He was an inventor, electrical engineer, and he actually has a law named after him called Marconi's law, which just tells about the height of an antenna, so the height of an antenna and the distance that it can actually transmit. It actually gets a bit more complicated than that. That's pretty much just a basic theory of what that law actually entails. And he was born in 1874 and died in 1937. So he had a good life. And it has a nice portrait. It's quite handsome, actually. Very nice. And as you can see, the watermark is actually him. So, and the security thread is just down there. And also we have another security feature in the center. So if you hold it up, it should actually join up. So this side, is that side of yellow? Green. So those should actually match up. So you should actually see straight through it. And anyway, on the reverse we have transmissions. We have telegraph, which was the popular means of transmission in the early 20th century, in the late 19th century should I say. And the telephone actually replaced it. And then we have a ship, and that is a yacht Electra, which is Marconi's yacht. So obviously he's quite a wealthy person if you could actually have a yacht that he actually owns. And yeah, oh, that is a beautiful type of banknote. And this 1990, and then we have the 5,000 lira. So these two have different signatures, and let's see in a minute, see if they're different dates. So this one has Vincenzo Bellini, who was a playwright, so he actually wrote operas, and as you can see in the background, interior of Teatro Massini, that's in Catania. And this would have been a place where people went to actually watch the opera. And it has a musical note, oh, not a musical note, but I can't remember what that is. You put it at the start of the lines that they used to actually read musical notes. Have a look. If you have a look at this clothing, definitely has the style of clothing that they actually used during the probably 1900s. And on the reverse we have something from one of his plays, and that is the Norma opera. So the opera is actually called Norma, and it has a column and trees and a person probably playing allegory of lyrics. So I'm not too sure. I've never actually seen this play. I should actually watch it. It should be on YouTube. So I'll actually watch it. It's actually quite a nice play, I believe. And because, they're both 1985. So this was one of the first ones actually issued in 1985. The next banknote, the 10,000, actually issued in 1984, as well as the 50,000. And these ones have, at least the 50,000 has either a single security thread or double, and that is two. So this one's an upgraded security features, and if it has a single security thread, that's one of the early ones. So this banknote has Alessandro Volta, and if you know what voltage is, it's actually named after this guy. So here we have a battery, it's a electro 4 volt column, and I believe that had a zinc and copper plates separated by salt water. So it's pretty simple. That's from memory. I actually did read about it, and it has an anode and a cathode, and it just creates a loop for electrons to actually go around. So it's actually quite an interesting thing. And this is him, and on the reverse we have Museum Tempio Voltiano. That's in Como, and I presume that is actually a science museum dedicated to Volta, but probably not only him, probably for scientific works. But it looks like the building is actually It's Romanesque style, so it has a Volta on it. So this is definitely a museum to Volta. So it probably has the battery and all that stuff in it. I'd love to go to Italy and check it out. And the watermark is Volta as well, pretty much the same as the one that's actually portrayed in there. And let's have a look at the dates on them. So this was 84, 84 is 84. So they're all pretty much dated 84, but the signatures are pretty different. And I believe this is the second oldest one, and these ones are pretty earlier. So they're the same signatures. And the actual numbers, serial numbers, don't actually correlate with the date. They just kept on printing serial numbers. Doesn't matter what the date the decree was. So the last one I have, and this is the highest banknote I have, is the 50,000. So here we have Gian Lorenzo Bernini. He was a sculptor and architect, so this is one of his actual sculptures. And he was one of the 3 people who actually promoted the Baroque style of architecture, painting and sculpture. And also he actually worked for the actual Pope at one point, I think Pope Innocent VII. And he was born in 1898 and died in 1680, so he had a good life. And he actually died quite a long time ago, so he's been deceased longer than he was alive, but his legacy survives, which is pretty good. Have a look at the serial numbers. So this is the first issue, the AA, so it's 1 million, so this is actually D, so it's a 4,804,328 banknote. So what you need to get is that to be an A, to be really a collectible banknote. And then there is only 1 million for all A numbers. And on the back you have a statue that Bernini actually sculptured, so the equestrian statue. And here's the interior of St. Peter's Basilica, which he also painted as well. So St. Peter's Basilica was built around the same time. And I'm going to have to make a video about the actual value. Okay, so now that we have actually looked at the banknotes, what are their values? Well, when these were actually changed in 2002, the actual value to the euro was 1,936.27 to 1 euro. So it's nearly 2,000. Probably would have been rounded up to close to 2,000. So 1936 lira to 1 euro. And these were exchangeable up until the 29th of February 2012 by the central bank. So you could have changed them up until that time. And now these actually are worthless. You can't actually exchange them at the Bank d'Italia, and they actually have no monetary value. They only have a collector's value. So with this banknote, you can actually get this one for like $10 on eBay, probably a bit more expensive at coin shops. With the value when it was in circulation in Australian dollars, this would have been equivalent to 50 Australian dollars. I think it's like 1,200 lira to 1 Australian dollar, so probably $45. So it's actually quite a lot of money, and whoever collected this, they probably would have actually got their money's worth when they actually sold it, or they could have actually lost money. So in the process, someone actually lost money when they actually bought and sold this banknote, because their value has actually dropped. And the same with these ones. So I bought 2 lots of these, so I bought them for like $15 each, and the face value would have been $30 for these ones. So I actually brought some other banknotes with it as well. So really, you did not actually get your money's worth that the value was in the 1990s. So really these have dropped in value because they're no longer exchangeable. And I've yet to see that with the 501,000 Indian rupees that they demonetized. Sooner or later that probably happen. And yeah, so these are only collector's items, so you can probably pick this up for, I don't know, each of these in this condition probably a few dollars. I'm not going to keep all of these. I'll get rid of some, so this one I'll probably get rid of. I've yet to determine a value, but if you can buy this one for like $10 to $20, then these ones are actually probably worth a little bit less, except if they're in higher condition. So the higher the condition, the more money you can actually get. So that is the end of the video. I'd like to say thank you very much for watching my video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and have an awesome coin collecting, banknote collecting time, people. Thank you and bye bye.